All right, joining me now is MSNBC contributor Jill Wine-Banks. She is a former assistant Watergate special prosecutor and the co-host of the Sisters-in-Law podcast. As always, Jill, it is a pleasure to see you. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Let's talk through some of this, all right? Because you got the January 6th committee essentially praising the DOJ for Navarro, saying in a statement this: while today's indictment of Peter Navarro was the correct decision by the Justice Department, we find the decision to reward Mark Meadows and Dan Scavino for their continued attack on the rule of law puzzling. So, of course, comparing what happened to Navarro versus both Scavino and Meadows there, what do you make of the DOJ's decision not to pursue Meadows and Scavino?
It is a little puzzling. I think there are distinctions between the cases, and the Department of Justice owes it to us to explain more fully. They said that it was based on individual facts and circumstances of each of the cases. I'd like to know what those distinctions are. There is an Office of Legal Counsel opinion that, of course, could be reviewed and could be amended, could be completely changed, about not going against people who were top-level advisors in the White House. But Navarro was an active member of the White House top level when he refused to testify, or about the time that he refused to testify, and he was indicted. So why is there something special about Meadows and Scavino?
Right.
Well, they cooperated a little bit. That's maybe the only difference. But they, in the end, did not fully comply. So I think that they are subject to being indicted for not letting America know the facts that America needs to know about an attempt to overturn the election, which is what this is all about.
I mean, obviously, we know Meadows provided a heck of a lot of emails back and forth, text messages, paper trail, I should say. I believe it was, thousands of pieces of communication that he provided to the committee, and yet they did refuse to testify because they both cited kind of this executive privilege with the president, and that is obviously the defense they continue to stand by. I do kind of want to play for you, though, Jill, what we heard from Congressman Louis Gohmert talking about Navarro's indictment during an interview on Newsmax yesterday. Quite puzzling, to say the least.
We have a two-tier justice system. If you're a Republican, you can't even lie to Congress or lie to an FBI agent, or they're coming after you.
I mean, that's accurate. You shouldn't really be allowed to lie, Republican or Democrat, to Congress or the FBI. Fairly accurate.
That is for sure. And you shouldn't be able to lie ever, even to the American people. But that's a question of how we vote, not about whether you get indicted. What he said didn't make any sense. It makes no more sense than the claim that there is executive privilege for discussions of committing a crime or an insurrection or planning to overturn the results of a free and fair election. So I don't get the claim of executive privilege even by the two who are not being indicted, by Meadows and Scavino, because they aren't being asked about conversations with the president about their work. They're being asked about what they know about and also about conversations with other people, as shown in the Meadows communications. Most of those were not with the president. They were with people from Congress and people, Ginny Thomas, for example. Those can't have any executive privilege. So executive privilege falls flat.
Let me ask you this, Jill, before I let you go. We know public testimony is beginning this week. We are being told this is yet unseen testimony, yet unseen documentation that's going to be revealed by the January 6th committee. What are you expecting to hear, to see? What are you going to be looking for as this public phase of the investigation begins?
First, I would love to see live witnesses. I would like to see the testimony in person. I don't want to see a recording of it. I think there's nothing as powerful as the witness themselves. We've heard things like, well, I heard that Trump said it might be a good idea to hang Pence. I want to hear that witness say it live. Those are the kind of things that could really make a difference. I think there's a lot. I have one fear, which is, as a trial lawyer, I know you never want to overpromise. And I worry that this business of this is going to blow the roof off the house is the kind of promise that must be fulfilled by really clear and convincing evidence and not stuff we've already heard leaked.
Jill Wine-Banks, as always, we appreciate you joining us this hour. Thank you. All right, let's talk about the baby.